What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuning in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go! All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got a brand new episode for everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. I mean, we got a lot of stuff in motion going on. NBA basketball has been great. Can't complain. How about you?
Yeah, hanging in there. Playoffs are winding down a little bit here in the NHL and NBA. Looking like we're going to see some champions here soon. Yeah, it's fun time. Fun time in sports for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, let's get right to it, man. NBA semifinals in full effect right now. The Hawks, they beat the Sixers. Looks like they're gonna break up that Sixers team or possibly trade Ben Simmons. How are you feeling about it?
Well, I heard today that, or maybe it was this morning, that they said they're going to try to fix his shot over the summer. They're really going to, put him into. I don't know if that's just them throwing some lip service out in the background. They're trying to figure out how they can get out from under his huge deal. I think obviously it's an issue. I think the thing with Ben Simmons is he's probably one of the best defenders in the NBA. Really good with the ball in his hands, facilitating. He is just so scared to shoot anything right now. We saw him pass up that layup to dish it off. He is definitely afraid of getting fouled in the fourth quarter. Does not want to be anywhere near a free throw line.
Nope.
So they're basically playing it 4-on-5 on offense. And the thing that stinks is he can facilitate, but when guys are dropping way down on him, he can't do much. So yeah, I don't know. I'd say it's probably 50-50 on whether they end up trading him or not. It's gonna be so hard to move his contract and make the money match up, especially those NBA trades have to kind of got to match everything up, right? So what do you think?
It's gonna be interesting to see what they can trade for him. I think it's gonna be hard to move, just like you mentioned, because of the fact of his the salary cap, and then he's kind of devalued right now. Who's to say that you would want to, for instance, like say Dame Lillard wants out of Portland, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Trailblazers are willing to give up Dame for Ben Simmons, even though the cap might match up. I don't think they feel like it's an equal, player. I feel like Ben Simmons is going to be a new project, to try to figure out how to get him to shoot, get his confidence back. But I think he's definitely going to need a new team in order for him to do that. I don't know if him staying there and them working on the shot is going to help him get his confidence back.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm just looking at the numbers now. $33 million next year, 35 the year after, 38 the year after that, and then 40. So that's he's basically got 4 and 150 left. So he's got some heavy numbers there. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's now it's not even a shooting thing. It's a confidence issue. He wasn't even confident enough to
take a shot
or take a layup for that matter. It'd definitely be interesting to see how they handle this.
No, I was gonna say yeah, or maybe they keep him, but they move him off the ball, so they move him to the 4. They kind of use him how Golden State uses
Draymond.
Yeah, Draymond. And so he put him at that 4 spot. He gets a rebound. He's able to get and go. They trade Tobias Harris for a point guard, somebody else that can dish the ball. Because I felt like they played better when they had Maxey on the floor. Maybe they go out and get a point guard for him. Make that swap.
Mm-hmm.
So then he's actually your third scorer now. So it's not really much pressure on him. There's not really much pressure on him to have to score. Maybe he's like I said, they put him in the position like they did with Draymond, where he's able to come off a screen and either go to the hole or dish it out to a shooter, or even maybe run him at the 5 for like a small ball lineup. If they're stuck with him. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, something tells me they're not gonna be able to move that contract. I think he needs the right kind of team around him. I think he needs to be kind of set up with some shooters so that he can do that. I don't think that Philly is that team right now. I just don't think that they shoot as well from the outside as some other teams in the league. If he could get to a team like, I don't know, someone like the Trailblazers who've got two to three good shooters on the outside, something like that, where he can, like you said, sit at the four and maybe facilitate from down low, be able to come up top and handle the ball, but really no threat to shoot the ball. I think he could excel, and he can also, defend pretty much any position on the floor.
Yeah.
So, he was guarding Trae Young there for a while. He kind of shut Trae Young down. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how they handle this. This is a tough one for Philly here. And boy genius Daryl Morey.
Oh yeah, I mean, I heard some rumors that Golden State will look at him, but I don't know if that will make sense, because they already got Draymond.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, in that role, he won't have to shoot, but it gives them a better option if they swap him out for Wiggins, or I don't know if Oubre still will be there. We're gonna have to wait and see.
Yep, yeah, could be a kind of big offseason here in Philly.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And then the other team that beat them, the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, they move on to play the Milwaukee Bucks, who beat the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, obviously, the Nets were down and out, injured. I mean, KD proved, he's one of the best out there. How do you like Atlanta's chances against Milwaukee?
If they can guard Giannis with Clint Capella and John Collins, and can kind of keep him in check, and then somewhat stifle Chris Middleton, I think they have a chance. I mean, they played him well in the regular season, and Atlanta's kind of just like squeaking by. I feel like they're not playing all that great, but they're getting baskets and stops when they need them. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I give them a shot. I think it's probably going to be a deep series, probably 6-7 games. But I don't think either team has really wowed me, I would say. So I think this could go either way.
Yeah, I think it could go either way too. I like Atlanta's chances though. I feel like they're in a spot where they have nothing to lose. Nobody really predicted it for them to be here. Don't get me wrong, they do have injuries. Mm-hmm. Hunter and Cam Reddish are out for the season. I think those are two good pieces that will help them in the series. Being that it seems like when they play them, they play each other 3 times this year. It looks like I think the first time Milwaukee won, that's when Trae played. The second time Trae didn't play, and then Atlanta won. And then the last time Trae didn't play again, and I think Milwaukee won. So, but I mean, the matchups seem pretty fair. I mean, it's all going to come down to the others for both teams. Who else besides Giannis is going to show up? Is Middleton going to show up on away games? And as far as Atlanta, is Trae Young going to get some help? I mean, I feel like he's going to get his 20 and 10 every game because he's hard to guard. But we're going to have to see who else is going to step up.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the West, I mean, we had the Suns. I mean, they played the Clippers. They knocked them out the first game. Your boy Devin Booker had about 40 on him. Getting ready to play again tonight. Who do you like in this matchup?
I like Phoenix. I just think that they're the better team, and even with Chris Paul out, tonight, and he might be back for Game 3. I just think that I think they're just too much for the Clippers to handle, and I think the Clippers needed a couple of big performances from playoff P and Terrence Mann, and I don't think that is sustainable for them. And I think George has been playing well, but I think the Suns take this one down. And honestly, I think the Suns probably take it in 4 or 5.
Oh, you predicting a sweep?
Yeah, I think without Kawhi, if Kawhi's not healthy, I mean, this Clippers team is still, they're still decent defensively, but I think they're, not as dynamic of a scoring team. I don't feel like they have the guy that can take someone off the dribble like Kawhi can and get to the hoop. So if Kawhi is not back, I'd say 4 to 5 games, either sweep or the gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, I think I'm rolling with you on this one. I feel like the Suns are too much for the Clippers. I think they're going to struggle without Kawhi. Who's to say if he comes back, when he's coming back? And I think it's going to be too much pressure on playoff P and the others. I don't think they can have huge game enough huge games to win 4 out of the 7. So
Yeah.
Devin Booker is looking like he's developing his little Kobe like mentality. I mean, he's trash talking. People are trash talking. He's trash talking them back. Like, what did you say? Huh? Oh, I thought so. So I mean, I like that. I mean, he's getting his little swag on. It's good to see. I mean, we almost had a glimpse of him last year in the bubble, but unfortunately didn't make it. They're the outside looking in, and coming into his 6th year, I mean, he's looking great.
Yeah. I think he's kind of shown he's an all-around player now, and taking a little bit of a backseat to just scoring, and he got his first triple-double the other night. So I think big things to come there, and hoping there's a certain player in Boston who's watching this saying, I can do that too. Not saying any names, Jason Tatum.
Well, yeah, I think this is I think he's gonna have a coming out party, kind of like what Booker did. Go crazy for a few games and then maintain that consistency. Don't get me wrong, he's playing great, but he's gonna need to take it up to another level.
Yep, no, I agree. So a little bit of a weird playoffs, huh? Just like I feel like these are teams that weren't, even though that they were highly ranked, going in, I feel like there's just wasn't expecting these 4 teams to be left when the playoffs started.
Oh no, but that's why they play the games.
Yep.
My injuries might have been a big factor as well, but I mean we're gonna have to really we're gonna get the true gauge of the test come next year. I'm kind of like how Miami was in the finals the previous year. This year they got bounced out the first round.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't know if that's a testament to what happened as far as injuries of the bubble, or people just figured them out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if you saw the Nets were out, but I mean they said Dunwoody wants out of Brooklyn, so I mean it's gonna be interesting to see what they do as far as the trying to rebuild. I mean they're gonna have their main 3 intact. I think that injury to LaMarcus Aldridge hurt them more than they would have thought.
Yeah.
What do you think they go from here? Do you think they just try to run it back with the healthy players, or you think they're gonna have to go out there and switch up and get a role player or something?
Yeah, my guess is they're gonna try to sign a role player type person. Maybe like a always comes to my head, but a guy like Marcus Morris was with the Celtics. Somebody like that can kind of play the 4 or 5, hit some outside shots. I kind of like LaMarcus Aldridge, maybe a little bit tougher down low, but I think they missed that, and DeAndre Jordan basically didn't play, and Dinwiddie wanting out isn't really that surprising. He wants to get paid. He's probably not going to get the touches he needs in Brooklyn. But it'll be interesting to see what he gets paid on the open market, coming off of a partially torn ACL. But yeah, I think they need to get kind of a little tougher down low. I felt like you got Durant guarding Giannis, or Harden guarding Giannis because he kind of could body him up, and I feel like that you can't have that. I think they need someone that can kind of handle him down low, and they got to figure out a way to keep all 3 of these guys healthy. I mean, Harden usually is pretty good health wise, but the other 2 have longer histories of injuries.
Yeah.
So how do you keep them healthy enough in the season to get that probably top 2 seed, top 3 seed somewhere in there, but you don't want to do what the Lakers did this year, and obviously they got hurt, and bad timing obviously for them, getting LeBron and AD hurt at the same time, so they dropped from 1st to 7th. But if there's a way that they can kind of manage the load and build that chemistry and get a good spot for the playoffs, I'd say they're probably gonna run it back for the most part and just try to add a couple of players here and there.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna have to either get somebody that's a role player that could potentially be a starter. Maybe they go after Derrick Rose or somebody like that to help keep the minutes down for Kyrie. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see. But I think they definitely need help down low. I'm not sure who they can go to get that. I don't know if the Lakers let go Andre Drummond but I don't really like Andre Drummond. I don't know who else is out there as far as bigs that they can go out there and get.
Yeah, I don't know what that market's going to look like either, and it'll probably have to be some of that mid-level exception type player, like I'm not going to say Tristan Thompson because I won't do him any good there in Brooklyn, but someone like in that $7 to $10 million a year range for a couple years. You just have to see what's available.
Oh yeah,
I don't think they'll
it's
have
gonna
a
be
problem.
wild.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have a problem recruiting
What?
guys to come play with them. I said all those guys they seem to like Kyrie and Durant, so I don't think they'll have a problem recruiting players to come to Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think a lot of people are going to take pay cuts to get on that squad to
Yeah.
potentially get to the finals. And then another NBA news. I mean, it looks like the Trailblazers are getting down to their final coaches. Looks like they got Becky Hammond. Looks like she might be the first woman's NBA coach if she were to be given the job. Chauncey Billups is up there, and your boy Mike D'Antoni's still in the mix, man.
I don't know why.
Do you think the NBA is ready for a female head coach?
I think so. Yeah, I think they are. Becky Hammond has been well respected around the league. Especially Pop. Has been kind of an advocate for her for a while, and she knows her stuff. And I think the guys will listen to her, respect her. The problem, I think, the issue would come is if something were to happen, like they're not playing well, I think it's easy to fire some of these coaches now, right? If you're not playing well or you're not performing. But what happens when it's Becky Hammond, the first, or Carol Lawson or any of these women that are moving their way in the coaching ranks? Like that first firing is going to be a little, I think, touchy, right? So I think if they can navigate that, I don't think that there's a problem. I think these guys already kind of have women in the locker room that kind of understand it. And as long as she knows her stuff basketball wise, I think these guys will listen to her.
Oh yeah, I think her issue would be is if the players went out. I mean, I think some of the players have mentioned their feelings about the team. Some of them went out, so I mean, she might be dealing with a roster that's in the process of being rebuilt.
Yeah, but I think she needs to assess that going in. I mean, they're not leaving because of her. It's
yeah.
You know what I mean? So if that's the case, I would assume that she has contacts there that can get a hold of Dame or Nurkic and those guys and figure out kind of where they lie on being on that team. So I think she's got to do her due diligence as well.
Oh yeah, but my thing is that what would her not having those stars affect her as far as her getting a fair chance because they're going through a rebuild versus her having those stars there that were on the team last year.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be tough, but I think that ownership has to understand that going in, no matter who they bring in as a coach. If these guys went out, we've seen it. These players get their way in this league, so they got to understand that if these guys went out, then it's going to be a heavy rebuild for whoever's coaching there, and they got to give them a couple of years.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see. Hopefully, if she were to get hired, I hope they give her the fair chance and much success. I think I would love to see the game get integrated with women's basketball players, and even vice versa. I think it all overall it uplifts basketball on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the NBA lottery about to happen.
My buddy, who's a Pistons fan, just texted me. My balls are tingling.
Raptors got a possible top 4 pick.
The Raptors do?
Yep.
I'm a little behind you.
Fucking Cleveland.
Oh yeah, there they are.
Does that mean the Magic might get 2 top 4 picks?
No, they got 8 right there from Chicago.
Oh, I see. Oh, that sucks. 5 and 8. How the fuck does Cleveland should be banned from the lottery?
Unbelievable. Did you see Swin Cash's face when they pulled the 10 spot?
Oh yeah,
She did
like
not look
really,
happy.
really,
This guy's got to be pissed.
Detroit.
So who's is it Raptors? Who's the top four now?
Raptors, Rockets, Raptors, Rockets, Toronto, and
Detroit.
Detroit. Yeah, I don't know the Raptors snuck in there, but hey,
Good for them. Ben Wallace looking old.
yep. I mean, he is old.
I know. I don't think he's actually that old. I think he's not as old as you think he is. I feel like I looked this up not long ago, and I was like, "Holy crap, he's not that old." 46. Yeah, he's not that old.
No, not that old. No, I mean, he looks like his
It's
age.
pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks pretty good.
I mean, if he dyed his hair, got rid of those grays, he probably look like he's back in his 30s again.
True.
I mean, so it's in, ladies and gentlemen. Draft lotteries in full effect. The Detroit Pistons have locked up the number one pick. Your friend was right about his balls was tingling.
There you go, Tom.
They must have been on fire right now. Looks like Houston's got the second pick. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see because a 1-2 pick is either going to be Mobley or Cunningham. So, and I don't think Detroit, they already drafted the point guard. So I think they're going to go big. So they'll probably go Mobley. And then Cunningham will go to the Rockets. So
yeah, that could be an interesting pick because I feel like the Pistons have a ton of forwards. So and I know they drafted a point guard, but I may still look at Cunningham if I'm them.
Yeah, but if you're Houston, would you pick Mobley even though you got Woods, or would you swap out the pick with somebody else?
I don't know. I think it's. I mean, they would obviously show what kind of player he can be, but can you pair him up with someone and maybe like a Mobley? I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. I think they'd probably prefer Cade Cunningham drop to them, or maybe they look at Jalen Suggs or who's the other guy that's up there, Rich? Yeah, the big point guard, the big guard there.
Oh, Jalen Green or?
Yeah, Jalen Green. Yeah, I think they got some options there. Maybe Mobley falls to 3. I don't know. I think there's this could be a little bit of a dynamic draft, very fluid draft, depending on need.
And for those other teams at like 3 and 4, if Golden State or the Magic jump up and offer you 2 picks, do you take that?
I don't know. I just think I feel like value drops off so quickly in the first round here, and then you're kind of, I don't know, maybe after 5 or 6 picks that it's kind of a putting your thumb up in the air sometimes. Especially, I don't think this draft doesn't seem that deep, so I don't know if a team like that would do that. I think they'd probably take the draft pick, and then if they had a guy that's already in that position. Maybe they play out the year, or maybe they try to trade that person. If you think that the rookie's going to be that good.
Yeah. So I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, the top 5 picks. I mean, they're predicting the Cavs getting Jalen Green, the Raptors getting Jalen Suggs, and then Jonathan Kuminga going to the Magic at 5, and 6 and 7. Golden State has at 7 and 14. Magic are at 5 and 8. So we're gonna have to wait and see.
We can't wait for all these mock drafts to start tomorrow.
Oh yeah, they're probably out right in about 10 minutes. They're gonna be out in 10 minutes in the press on ESPN.
Good point.
Oh, did you want to get to NCAA?
No. And how the NCAA is going down finally?
Yeah, I mean now they're gonna.
So that wasn't the ruling wasn't on getting paid, right?
Yeah, it's just for the player likeness.
No. So the ruling that came down the other day was that they're able to get like standard items. Like I couldn't go to UMass and buy a basketball player a cheeseburger, or they could be reported as an NCAA violation.
Well, I thought it was also including the likeness.
I didn't read too much into it. It probably does include that somewhere, but like it's just like ridiculous the double standard that they're held to, and then they can't do anything.
Yeah, it's pretty much like slave labor.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, like I get it, they're getting they're on scholarship and all that, but Like let someone let someone take them out to dinner once in a while, right? I mean, geez, like give these guys a break. Like it's not like they're I mean I won't go that far, but like it's not like these guys are getting $50,000 drops every other week. But like let them be college kids. I just think it's kind of ridiculous that they micromanage it that closely and don't give more benefits to these players that are making the school boatloads of money.
Yeah,
And these
especially if you
coaches,
get a top kid there and he gets you
yeah,
into the tournament.
yeah, you're funding a lot of other sports because of these
Top
top players.
programs.
Yeah, top programs. Like I remember when I was in Texas, I think the football team pulled in. I think they profited something like $40 million a year, and that helped fund a lot of other things that the school can then do.
Mm-hmm.
So and I don't know whether these guys should ultimately be paid or not, but they should be able to you know
Benefit from the
benefit somehow from it, right? And don't give me
yeah
this not nonsense about they're getting a an education and whatever, because they give free education to other people too, and these guys are again like bringing in boatloads of money for the college.
yeah because it seems like even the players because not now some social medias pay people as far as like views and traffic to their page.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those players weren't even able to capitalize on that.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
So, I mean, hopefully this trends in the right direction. I mean, we're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. I think that if they do end up doing some sort of payment for the players, it should be equal across the different schools. But let's start with just treating them like regular human beings first.
Oh yeah, and then I mean, not much in the NFL to cover. Besides your boy Xavier Collins getting arrested for reckless driving.
What
Man, I
about
don't know what these rookies
Frank Clark getting arrested for?
arrested. Yeah, I mean, not much positive going on in the NFL right now. Just pretty much waiting for Aaron Rodgers to see if he gets traded or what the Packers decide to do
Yeah.
as we get closer to the season.
Yep. How about I was gonna say how about Major League Baseball? Hit the hot button right now in Major League Baseball. See where Big Rich stands on pitchers using foreign substances.
Yeah, I mean, on the MLB, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, the players were using steroids for a while. It's still debatable now that some players are still using it or some form of it. But I don't really think them a pitcher having more grip on the ball is making the difference compared to you hitting the ball.
Sure.
I don't know. That's just me. I mean, you still got to know your pitcher. I mean, whether he's throwing a fastball or a curveball or anything. I think you got to understand, what pitchers pitch as far as you being a left-handed or right-handed pitcher. The pace of the game. If there's runners on first, second, etc. I think a lot of it's more coaching, and then knowing who you're going up against. That one-on-one matchup. I don't think them really having a better grip on the ball for them to be able to throw it faster or slower is really matters because I think at the end of the day you're still seeing it coming.
Yeah, I mean it's all about I think it's all about the consistency. So I think that you hear some of these older pitchers, they've been saying that they were using sunscreen and the rosin bags for years. But that was only to get a more consistent grip on the ball because the balls were all different. Some have been used, some hadn't been used. There's dings in the balls and all that stuff. So these guys were they wanted more consistency. So they knew that if they're throwing a curveball or a slider, or a breaking pitch like that they knew that they were going to be able to get the same grip on the ball every time. I think obviously, with that spider tech or whatever the hell it's called that they're using now, it's gotten
Mm-hmm.
a little, out of control. So these guys can put a lot more spin on the ball. And you heard what's his name there, Glasnow from Tampa come out and say that what did he say? That now he had to change his arm angle and that landed him on the DL and all that. So yeah, I kind of don't mind them using, standard stuff. Not standard stuff, but like the sunscreen or the rosin. That doesn't bother me. When they
Mm-hmm.
start getting into like all this funky gunk, and these guys got, black marks all over their uniforms, and they're grabbing at it all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
and and you've seen 6, 7 no hitters already this year. Like now it's just getting like a little out of control. So I get they need to dial it back a little bit, but going from that to nothing, I think is also not the right move. I think they need to kind of have an understanding again with the pitchers, and either that or like I forget who said it. Is it Cole, or make the balls more consistent, right? There's just it seems like, based on what they're saying, there's just a lot of variability in the laces and covers of the balls, and if you get a used ball, it's a little bit different, and I think it's just, you let these guys use their rosin or whatever, that's fine. Just make, because I think that the hitters got to be a little concerned too, because they don't want fastballs. These guys losing two seamers up and in, and now you got a 97-mile-an-hour fastball coming at your head. So the last thing that the hitter wants is a pitcher without control.
Oh yeah.
So I think that they need to find some happy medium with these guys and figure out what they can do.
Yeah, but I also think we're in a different time as far as hitters. I don't feel like we have consistent hitters like we used to, like
Oh
back in the
no,
day.
no, it's all
So
home runs and strikeouts.
yeah, there's not like guys that are, you know, leading the league in RBIs or, base percentage. It's a little different. But I mean, I feel like the batting has to get a little bit better. It's not the pitching that's causing so many no hitters. So I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yep, nope, I agree.
And then freaking Houston Astros sneaking up in the ranks. I don't know how they keep doing this, man. The Rays slipped a little, but the Yankees haven't done much to gain much ground. Looks like the Giants and the Dodgers are pretty much locked at back and forth, and the
Yeah,
Padres is a tight little division over there.
yeah, it is. That's going to be an interesting division, kind of all summer. See who comes out of I think the Giants are unexpectedly a really solid team. So I think I think most people thought it would be LA, San Diego, but not the case so far. So we'll see how long they can hold out for. I think Tatis, especially with his shoulder, seems to be going in and out of the lineup, but he kind of drives that lineup there in San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Yankees playing a little bit better lately, but they just can't make any ground up because the Rays keep winning, the Red Sox are winning, and
Yep.
Vladdy Jr. is having himself an MVP year down in Toronto, keeping them afloat a little bit.
Oh yeah. Keeping my
Um,
fantasy team alive too.
yeah, he's having a real breakout year. But yeah, after we got a couple more weeks to the All-Star break, and then I think after that is when we'll start to see who's rising to the top here.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a nice little run come towards that the playoff race. See
Yeah.
who gets in as a wild card, who can lock up the number one spot in the division to get the bye. So
Yep, Yankees got some work to do, that's for sure.
we got a lot of work to do. Then you want to get into the PGA?
Yeah, it was it doesn't happen very often, I don't think. The Tiger's not kind of around, but it was the favorite, John Rahm, took it down, sank 2 huge putts on 17 and 18.
Yeah.
Kind of similar type putts, big break in downhill, breaking to his right, nailed both of them. Really kind of an underrated part of that win was on 18. So 18 is a shortish par 5. A lot of these guys can hit it in 2, no problem. Rahm was a little bit right into the bunker and had it would have been a really difficult shot to kind of go right at the hole, because the hole was he was a little bit on a downslope, and the hole was kind of towards the bottom left of the green. And if he didn't catch it perfectly, he could have rolled out into the water and not given himself a chance. At that time he was one shot back, and Louis still had 18 to go. So he really, made a ballsy choice to play it out to the right and leave himself, a 15, 20 footer to hit that birdie. I think a lot of guys in that position probably try to make the heroic shot and go right at the hole, and I don't know how many of them execute that. So he definitely took the safer route. I think there was some people who kind of jumped on him quickly going, what is he doing? But obviously he made the right move and took down championship. Louis had a bad drive on 17, cost himself a stroke there, and had the eagle 18 to tie, and then couldn't do it. So good win for Jon Rahm, especially after the whole, COVID disaster at the Memorial 2 weeks ago. Costing himself, or not that he cost himself, just, out $1.6 million on that. And, was able to, he said it right away, and Jon Rahm's a pretty emotional dude. But he said, he didn't, I guess, he wasn't overly concerned about, it was kind of out of his hands at the Memorial. So he didn't stew on it. He just kind of figured, karma will kind of come back to his side again, and he didn't have to wait too long for that. So yeah, congrats to Rambo. He played really well all week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew for you. What you got for us today?
All right, so for today we did again, we're still trying to stick to this healthy thing, Rich. We're trying, man. At least during the week, save yourself some extra calories for the weekend. But today was a sweet potato and ground turkey skillet.
Oh,
so
nice.
What we did is cook up the turkey with some herbs, salt, pepper, put that off to the side, cut up a couple of sweet potatoes, threw them in with some avocado oil, fried them up in the pan, added the turkey back in, threw a little tomato sauce, some more seasoning, a little bit of water because the turkey gets a little dry.
Mm-hmm.
And, let that stew for about, 10 minutes, covered, simmer. And just serve it in a bowl. It was actually came out really good. A lot of flavor for not having a lot of ingredients, and quick and easy, weeknight healthy meal.
Oh, nice. What did you drink that down with?
All right, so we got a new brewery for the podcast this week.
Oh, switching it up on us. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit different. Because of COVID, we haven't been able to obviously travel around to a lot of the breweries we like to go to, Portland, Burlington, down to New Haven. There's a bunch of breweries that are a little ways away. So one of my buddies went up to Burlington on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to stop at a few places. My favorite up there is Burlington Beer Company. We'll hit them in a review next week. Got a good one for us next week. But this week, going with a beer from Foam Brewing. So Foam sits right on Lake Champlain, basically on their patio. You can see out to the lake. Beautiful spot, right down by the water. It's a little, collegey. It's if you go there, a lot of college type kids at night. They live music. Great place, but the beer is fantastic. So what we got from them this week was a sour IPA. So It comes in at 7% ABV, called Constellations. So the description actually, I felt like nailed it. So it's like an orange lemon vanilla, kind of almost like a creamsicle. It's got a little creamsicle up front, but it's still an IPA. So they hop it with dry hop it with Galaxy, Strata, Comet hop. So you still get kind of that front end is kind of fruity and creamsicle-ish, and then the back end, you get that hot bite on the back end, but it kind of balances really well. I think that, and this was a collaboration with Clever Girls. They're actually, I think they're a band, so they brewed it with a band. I think they're out of that same, Burlington area, but it was really good. I think this is where Foam excels, in my opinion. their sour IPAs are done really well. There's a few breweries that can really nail it. I think Hudson Valley in New York has some good ones. Equilibrium does some good ones.
Okay.
But yeah, I think this is their sweet spot. They typically don't can these. They have them on tap. You can get some decent ones on tap. Their can selection is usually pretty, similar a lot. They have a few IPAs they have that are decent. Nothing that I wouldn't drive to Burlington for that. But yeah, the sour IPAs are really good.
Oh, nice.
So I'd give it like I'd go 8.1 there.
Okay, that sounds nice. I like that creamsicle flavor. So.
Oh yeah, you'd like it then.
And then that's it for JD's Bites and Brew.
Till next time.
I mean, so this week we had some BRRs. I started watching some stuff, finished some stuff. As far as movies, watched the Quiet Place 2. I don't know. I'll probably give it a. I don't know if I could say it's better than the first one because the first one sets the tone. I guess I could say it's better than the first one. So I'll probably give this one I think the first one I'll probably give like a 7.5. This one I'll give like a 7.8.
Okay.
Just a little bit better. I mean, they give a little bit you get to see a little bit of the backstory about how the monsters came. I don't want to give it away too much of it away. You get some glimpses of how it was prior, when things happen. You learn a little bit about the monsters, that they're obviously they're hurt by the sound. When she puts the hearing aid up to the stereo, and then as well, they can't swim. So we learn that, but there's still a lot to learn about them. Where exactly they came from. But at the end of the movie, it looks like the humans have a fighting chance, a better fighting chance as far as how to defeat these things. So, but overall, it was good. There'll probably be another one, another year or two. So definitely wanna if you like the first one, definitely wanna watch the second one.
Nice.
And then as far as shows, nothing finished. Still going through some stuff. So right now, watching Dave. I don't know if you watched the first season.
No, I didn't watch Dave yet.
Yeah, it's about a guy that's a rapper, trying to be a rapper, trying to make it as a rapper. Pretty funny. I mean, his sidekicks are hilarious. He has a guy on there named Gator. He's probably the star of the show, to be honest. And this is the second season, like pretty much him signed to a label, trying to get his album together. It looks like, some of the things he's going through. He's going through a breakup as well. So, I mean, it's good to see. They got a lot of celebrities popping on the show here and there. Kendall was in on the last episode. So, it's definitely, if you like Atlanta, it's one of the little shows you want to check out.
Nice.
The other shows, I know you're looking for some stuff to watch. And then for other shows, there was some new shows. Other new shows, there was Katla, new show on Netflix. Pretty much there's like a volcanic eruption in this town and people go missing.
And then, what's it called?
Katla.
Katla?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm on like the third or fourth episode. And then supposedly people, like after a few years later, people start popping up. They're like covered in like volcanic dust and they don't know like what happened. So I'm still watching the show trying to figure out what happened with these people, like where they go. So it seems like they've like their last remembrance of like time as a time frame is pretty much what happened before the volcano. So I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of revealing stuff. So that's one of the new shows I'm watching. And then I don't know if you remember Too Hot to Handle. It's a reality TV show.
Netflix. Yeah, I do, yeah.
I think that comes back tomorrow. So that give you guys something to watch. And then there's a few other things I'm checking out. I'll keep you everybody posted. And then I think that's pretty much it.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out with your boy Rich, JD, and Tom here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.